Excellence in software engineering services and industry expertise enables airlines to fuse technology and business, accelerate their innovation, and transform with speed. Among its achievements in the industry, Comtrade counts laying the foundations for Ryanair's digital transformation. We'll now hear from Marko Javornik, Vice President of Mobility and Travel at Comtrade Digital Services. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marko to the stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Marko Javornik. I come from Comtrade Digital Services. And as discussed, I will talk about the future of airlines. And yes, the president of Etihad said very well, so there is a new secret weapon that airlines have, and this is data. I will explain how to use this data, how to monetize the data in order to increase the revenues and the profits. We live in very, very interesting times. We live in times where the data about the business that we are doing is becoming more valuable than the business itself. Let's look at just a few of the leading companies of this new digital economy. Alibaba, Uber, Airbnb, Facebook. What do these companies have in common? First of all, they're all the leaders in their industry. Some of the most valuable companies on the planet that started a few years ago and are now valued at several tens of billions of dollars. The other common thing is they don't deal with the physical assets at all. They don't deal with the content. These are digital platforms that monetize the data, create a platform and create delightful user experience that users start using instead of the existing players in the industry. This is the beginning of digital disruption, and pretty much every industry is facing this trend. Years ago, they were saying, no, 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 our industry will not change. 100 years, we are making cars, and this is how it will be for the next 100 years. Guess what? Things are changing. Maybe you have seen last week, Ford, a new brand. And it's not another Passat. It's not another Golf. The new brand is Moya. It is mobility services company. It will be a platform dealing with data. And the same goes for all other industries. Airlines are no exception. The important thing to know about this is a disruptive, non-linear change. So you cannot learn about it by analyzing the past. It simply doesn't work that way. In the morning, we heard about the great tradition Serbia has in aviation industry, starting 100 years ago. But what will happen in the next 5, 10 years, you will not learn by observing the history. You will learn by looking at the best digital transformation companies. The example that I like to use is example from the music industry. When we talk about digital transformation, I see by talking to top management that there's a big misunderstanding. The emphasis is not on the word digital. The emphasis in the word transformation. Already today, there's a lot of digital technology in airline industry. In the planes, you see millions of lines of code. In the airlines, you see a lot of digital technology. But there comes a time where this digital technology is used in a very, very different way. Let's look at this example of the music industry. So yes, many decades ago, we had analog music, LPs, cassettes, and so forth. And then somebody says, let's use digital technology to improve this. We got CDs. Nothing has changed dramatically. Basically, it's still the same user experience. You go into the shop, you buy a record, you play it at home, you can lend it to your friend, and so forth. Everything stayed the same. User experience stayed the same. Companies were producing records, the same distribution network, everything was the same. Until several decades later, when people say, hey, why are we going to the shop to buy the record? Why do we have single records instead of connecting to the digital world and consuming all the music in the world wherever we are? This is the new digital experience for music, music streaming. And now suddenly everything is different. So if you look at it, user experience is different. You don't go to the shop, at least not the physical anymore. The players are different. So now you have a company like Spotify that is the leader of digital music. You subscribe to them, so the business model is different in order to consume the music. So basically, everything has changed 20, 30 years after digital technology came into the music industry. Similar things are starting to happen also in the airline industry. Pointers that show you this. First of all, where does the user experience of traveling start? I talk to leading airlines and they say, yeah, people still come to our web page, to our app and so forth. That is true. But this is not the start of their journey. So the start is Facebook, Instagram, Google, Skyscanner, and so forth. So this is where the digital travel experience starts. And then look at the value. There was a lot of discussion how difficult it is to basically create profits in the airlines. And when the oil prices are good, everybody's happy. Imagine this. So you go to Asia with a leading airline, let's say Lufthansa. You travel there 10 hours. And then you come there and you open an app that tells you where is the nearest restaurant. The app is called TripAdvisor. That app is worth more than Lufthansa. This is the world where we live in. And now the question is, do airlines leave these new value streams to other companies? Or do they want to take advantage of this? And we believe that airlines should actually take advantage of that. And we are actually helping some of the leading airlines benefit from the new technology that allows them to monetize the data. I would like to briefly introduce Comtrade Digital Services. We are the largest IT services company in this region. And I would like to introduce it through some of the reference. And first I will start with non-airline, and then I will also explain one of the key reference in the airline industry. So we work, for example, in smart energy business. Itron is world-leading smart energy business that digitalize smart meters for electricity, gas, water. This started happening like 10 years ago. And we are working with them on technology that collects data from hundreds of millions of meters every 5-10 minutes. PaySafe. This is the leading financial services startup, basically, a company, or actually now a grown-up 600 banks all over the world, and then 140,000 merchants, online shops, in order to execute billions of transactions. Last but not least, I would like to talk about CERN. CERN is, we are talking about big data. That in Europe, it is CERN, 140 petabytes of data. And we are actually their partner that helps them deal with 3 terabytes per second upload speed, which is 100 times more than all the YouTube videos combined that are being uploaded. So 100 times more. This is just a little bit background. I would like to now focus on airlines. And I would like to introduce our partnership with Ryanair. And actually, I have asked Ryanair CTO to do it. He will be here with me on the stage, not in physical form, but actually in digital form. So if you can please play the video.
Ryanair is currently Europe's favourite airline, with over 106 million passengers travelling as per annum. In the future, I see Ryanair as a digital travel leader, which happens to have an airline attached. So a lot has changed in the last 5 years, and the rate of change is only getting faster. Our customers are now more tech savvy and with higher expectations from the service that we deliver. As a result, we've used technology to improve the travel experience. A key part of this technology is the My Ryanair program, which we've rolled out to improve customers' experience and personalising their journey. In order to achieve this ambitious program under very tight deadlines, Ryanair needed to choose a reliable, innovative partner. Key features in the team we chose were honesty, transparency and ability to deliver. Comtrade are exceptionally strong in the agile methodologies and were a perfect fit for the vision and direction we wanted to bring our team.
So we had very aggressive timelines on the project that we were working on. Comtrade really helped us out. They analysed what we were doing and they saw a few areas where we weren't properly focused. So the structure of our approach from the development side was wrong. So once that kind of structure was put in place and the UI dev guys were the bridge between ourselves and development, things start falling into place the way we wanted them to look and feel. And the level that they were doing it was really impressive.
Initially, Comtrade gave us a scrum team of 9 people who delivered working code on a 2-week cadence to our senior stakeholders who were very impressed with what they saw. The key was iterative development. Every single week we saw the code changing and improving. We were allowed to steer it as we saw it changing. And Comtrade's ability to accept this change and work with it rather than work against it was helping us go from a vision to a working product.
They're actually really friendly guys and it was really easy to get on with them. The fact that they were actually really skilled as well really helped.
Honesty. You always know where you stand. In my role as CTO of Ryanair, I'm juggling many plates. It is great to have one of the key plates in my world in a very safe pair of hands with Comtrade.
To know that there was somebody whose main sole responsibility was to make the build look exactly like my designs was a relief to know that there was somebody there that actually cared.
In the last year, Comtrade have helped Ryanair lay the foundations to allow us to become the digital travel leader, which happens to have an airline attached.
So yeah, we are a very proud partner of Ryanair in this bold vision that was set more than 2 years ago by their CEO, Michael O'Leary. So Michael O'Leary says, yes, Ryanair is a very successful airline, but in the future, we will be a technology company. We will be Amazon for travel. And we are proud that we are supporting the implementation of their vision. And I remember at the start of this journey, people said, yeah, Ryanair, I don't see them as a technology leader. But if you look closer, you will see that their business model is very much similar to the business model that Google has, that Facebook has, that a lot of the digital travel leaders, technology companies actually have. Basically, in the morning panel, there was this question, how do you compete with an airline where you pay 5, 10, 15 euro for flight ticket? It will get even tougher because that airline is starting to get tremendous new value streams from the digital sources. So that airline, on a plane ticket I bought recently, Brussels to Berlin, 4 euro, is actually making 11 euro profits. And this profit probably will increase by introducing new digital revenue streams. I think each airline will need to ask, what kind of business model to play, but I don't think any airline could avoid to benefit from digital technology. And this is basically something that we help support. So when you try to monetize data, digital data, basically there are 2 sides of the coin, and actually both are very important. On one side is the technology part, so data-driven systems, but the other part, which is many times misunderstood, you also need to apply a completely different management approaches, actually, and product development approaches. So let's look at the new technology stack of the digital business. How does it work? So you connect to the digital world today with your mobile phone. Tomorrow, maybe it will be different. But basically, you have connectivity everywhere. You can assume that you'll be always connected. And actually, everything around you will be connected as well. We're talking about hotels, cars, parking spaces, but literally everything. And also the service providers will open up their API so that you can integrate with them with different business models. But everything is actually driven by the data. So you need to understand who your user is and create delightful user experience for them. This is one part of the story. But the other part of the story is that this ecosystem is moving at a completely different speed than the physical infrastructure. We listen to Boeing saying, yes, they plan things 20 years in advance. With aircrafts, this makes sense. With this, you are talking about weekly iteration, and that's why you need a completely different approach. The approach that the best companies in the world use is the following. So you start with an idea, and you don't develop the whole aircraft. You develop something small in a digital world called minimum viable product. You create a platform that allows you to deploy this fast. Amazon is deploying every 11 seconds new changes to production system. That is the speed that we're talking about. And then you measure. Then you check, is this something that customers value? Is this something that customers are using? And what you will find out is that the first time the answer will be probably no. They don't like certain aspects and so forth. And then you will learn. And you will repeat. This is the iterative approach that is done by all the companies that I mentioned before that are leading in digital economy. And once you find the magic formula that works for you, then the platform needs to allow you to scale big. In terms of Ryanair, we are talking literally about 100 million of users. Why is this important? So this slide goes well beyond the presentation today, but the point is it goes down to complexity. So if you manage complexity, such as aircrafts, that changes every few years, then you're in the complicated field. And then traditional management style works. But if you work with digital technology, it simply does not work. The leaders, look at Booking.com. They run 800 experiments in parallel every day, checking for what is the best user experience possible. If you look at Uber, you will see the same patterns. They do experiment in Seattle, where they're joining walking and taking a ride. They do experiment in Amsterdam, joining bicycle and the car ride. And they do experiments in San Francisco, where actually they're joining flight with a ride. This is how the modern companies do. And once they find the success, then they deploy it globally. So what does this mean for your business? So if you want to benefit from digital technology, you need to understand that this is a different type of business than maybe traditional airline business. And you will need to foster the culture of innovation. And this will really go deep, down to organizational level, cultural level. But what's really important is you also need to look for the new business models. Business model makes all the difference, you know. And here, again, example. So Apple has less than 15% share of smartphones, but they get 90% of all the profits in the smartphone market. And you can see the same happening in other industries as well that are affected by digital technology. Business models. Etihad president was talking. Business model is the key, how to create win-win partnership. But in terms of airlines, this is a yearly decision. In terms of digital technology, this will be a weekly decision. Who do you partner with? Who do you compete with? What kind of business model and so forth? This is the difference when you talk about digital technology. Digitalization is coming, and it is here to stay. So you cannot uninvent the wheel. Once you find better solution to solving some problems, want it, and they will not go away. So airlines have basically just two choices. Basically, they can go aggressively and create this new value stream, or they will be defeated by the startups and other companies that will take the advantage of this. So it is really necessary to start playing this game. But in order to win this game, it will be necessary to understand that the complexity and the speed of this game is dramatically different than the complexity and speed of traditional business. In word of Gretzky, the famous hockey player, it is still the same game. It is still, you need to look at where the puck is going and you need to skate to there. But the difference is that the puck is moving 10 times faster now. and actually jumps funny sometimes. If you need some help in order to see where the puck is going and how to accelerate your skating, this is what our company does for the digital technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, folks. Good news, we're actually going to break for lunch now and continue with the MRO panel afterward. So yeah, enjoy.